Listo, ya estamos en directo. Vamos a ver otra pestañita por aquí. Ah, la quito. Así. Vamos a ver. Pam. No esperen que yo traduzca porque soy malísimo traduciendo. A ver. Creo que ya va a comenzar, así ya comenzó.
Hey
A todos
everybody,
desde la
how's it
casita.
going? Welcome to the Darkness and Dragons update show. As you can see, things are a little different, but before we get into that, let's go ahead and introduce everybody joining me on the show today. We're gonna see if I get my pointing correct. I don't know how this is gonna go. So, there's a chance. Down below me, we've got Hi-Res Nico. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And over on my left, nailed it.
You got it.
We have Evil Mojo Adonis, as you guys know.
Excited
Welcome,
to be-
man.
Yeah, excited to
And
be
on my
here.
lower left-
From home this time.
From home, right? And then on my lower left here,
Hi-Res
which I
Nico
think I got the point
parece
right
que
there, we also have
se
Hi-Res
viviendo en
Romanova from
una
the
casa
Palace Team.
sola.
How you doing, Romanova?
No tiene nada detrás.
I'm good. I have cat aggro.
We will all deal with it at some point during the show.
They're so needy. If anyone's winning from this whole, pandemic going on, it's house pets. People's pets are winning right now. They're having the best weeks ever.
Absolutely. I know, like, during the show, Rex, my dog, is going to be, like, patrolling around. You guys are going to see him. So it's going to happen. But obviously, guys, this is a different setup, right? So we're all working from home. As you guys are I'm sure aware, there is something going on around the world with COVID-19 passing around. And so we at Hi-Res Studios, Nuevo Mojo Games, have been doing our part to stay home, socially isolate, make sure that we're keeping everyone safe, while also continuing to work on your favorite game, Paladins, right? Which has been a challenge, but something that we've adapted to really well, and we're excited to just be here to talk to you guys about all the really cool new content that we have coming up. So going along with this, right, we have a lot to talk about today, like a lot. And going along with that too, right, if you guys don't already have it up, if the mods aren't dropping it in chat, we have patch notes live right now. So if you go to paladins.com/news, you'll be able to watch along with us, check out patch notes as we go along, and read all the final details as we're kind of going through the show today. Let's go ahead and get things kicked off, since we have a lot on the plate, as you mentioned, Romanova, with the hunt and some bug fixes. You want to go ahead and take us away there?
Absolutely. So we are going to go right into it. Fix
Me tocó ver
number
YouTube por lo
one.
que-
But before I even say that, it's been a pleasure to see how hard our QA is working while adapting, working from home, and shout outs to them for still making a big effort. And you, again, if you're following along in the patch notes, there's a whole bug fix section at the bottom, but we're going to go over probably some of the top 5 that were fixed that are coming in this patch. So number 1, we fixed an issue where cards and talents that activate when a player falls below a certain health threshold can go on cooldown again when the player respawns. Now, Adonis, I'll let you give a little insight before we go into the next one. Not too much, but just to kind of.
This is actually the result of a really cool change we made last patch, unfortunately, where when you respawn, you get all your cooldowns back. In Siege, this didn't really matter too much, but in Team Deathmatch, it did. You would spawn in, fight, use your abilities, die, respawn, not have those abilities. So we changed that so you always get your cooldowns refreshed. Unfortunately, resulted in this bug, but we've cleaned it up for this patch.
Yeah, Great work
Absolutely.
by the whole team on fixing something like that. Number 2 that we're going to go into, we fixed an issue where players would experience hitches when getting double kills in matches. So it's always nice because not everyone has a perfect connection, so it's nice when bugs like this can get fixed and are discovered, because so many people, it's hard sometimes to tell whether something's just their connection or if it is a bug. So it's nice that something like this can get fixed to help our player base, especially if normally they maybe don't have a good team on fixing something like that. No matter what your connection is, you know that this is going to go into going forward after this patch. So
especially on double kills, right? I mean, double kills are an exciting moment, right? You want to get hyped and start feeling that. We don't like that happening.
Carta del 100% de daño base a 50%.
Oh, okay.
De 100.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys.
I'm just kidding. I am horrible, but I love playing.
Y se corrigió un bug en la carta que no funcionaba.
I deserve the praise because
así sí entiendo más o menos, porque leer inglés ya es diferente a...
So, issue number 3.
A tratar de interpretarlo con la voz, porque si me queda grave. No sé mucho de inglés y... ¿Tivarius?
So specifically,
Tivarius,
it's
el nuevo
basically when
campeón.
another
Dice
player
que no jugaba casi.
disconnects. If you're in queue and someone else disconnects, you won't get re-queued. So that is really good.
Bugs de carta
It would
solucionada
be
players,
just
que no
annoying if that
funcionaban
has
de
happened to you.
cohesión.
So our apologies, but
De que
in
Sport,
this next patch,
el
it
arreglo
will
de
be
que
fixed.
el audio no funcionaba en el menú del juego.
Going on to
Muchos arreglos de bugs,
4,
como variados por lo que ha
this is a
pasado.
big one. This one I've seen a million people talk about, and I understand the frustration, but it's going to be fixed. And you know, it's just sometimes this stuff, if I can not stress it enough, it takes time. You know, it doesn't get fixed in a day, and especially even if it does get fixed in a day, it takes a while for that patch sometimes to come out, unless it's something that needs, you know, hot fixed right away if there's not a way around it for the time being. So right now we fixed an issue where players could not queue for training modes, tutorial, or shooting range if their crossplay settings were not set to allow all. Again, I've seen so many of you like complain about this, so I'm really glad that we are going to have this fixed in for this next patch for you. You know, as well as number 5, our last bug that we're going to go over. But remember, on those patch notes, there's like a whole bunch more on top of this that were fixed. We fixed an issue where the Phantom card would not function. Now Adonis, what about the boy here? You know, this is important.
Yeah, we made some really cool changes to Grok last patch. Unfortunately, the Phantom card was not functioning, and it made it to live, but we have fixed it. We caught it late into the cycle. It was a miss on our part, but hopefully all you Grok players will have more options this patch, and maybe something a little shiny down the line in patch notes today.
Spoilers, Adonis.
You don't say. Yeah. So, just before we get into balance, folks, like I can always let you know, we are always investigating. When we see bugs, just because something hasn't gotten fixed doesn't mean it hasn't been seen. The best thing you can do is give us as much information as possible if you really are passionate about a bug getting fixed, because even though our QA can investigate this, they might not always be able to find that, and if you know more information about it, that helps them get to the bottom of it faster and potentially get a fix in. So again, discord.gg/paladinsgame and paladins.com/bugs are 2 of the best places to go to report your bugs. You know, it just is. You know, we're browsing Reddit. We see bugs that you post on Reddit. So keep up the good work on alerting us about issues. And you know that even if somebody's not always replying to everything, that you are being seen. And then also, just another shout out to our QA team working from home, because they've not been only testing and still getting all these fixes in, but they've completely adapted to this life, which is so hard. As somebody who used to be a QA analyst, like it's one of the, I think it's one of the harder of our jobs, you know, to work from home and do. So it's really nice that they're set up and able to do this from home. But with that said, you know, let's go into balance. To you know, we got Adonis the balance master here, as you may have seen our avatar in game. So I'll let you guys pass it back to Abby, and we'll take it away. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, with bugs, it's always a fun time to dive in. Now we get to dive into the balance, the numbers.
Sé que ahora
right?
es una retransmisión de la transmisión
We're
de
going to kick
ellos.
this off and kind of roll through each of our roles in game, starting with frontline champions and Ashe. So we've actually been looking into kinetic burst. Now I know, Nico,
Atlas.
you had a couple points on this that you wanted to point out to everybody in the upcoming patch.
Yeah, so the majority of the balance things we did this update is actually kind of either inspired or suggested by the AOC, so huge shout out to the AOC for their suggestions, the fact that they're able to bring those from the community to us. For Ashe in particular, this one is the only one with a bit of a caveat. So we're looking to have Ashe Kinetic Burst to be able to be toggled similar to how Shaolin's Crippling Arrow could be toggled. Right now it is potentially or very close to working in dev. It's probably not going to be first PTS build, but we'll keep you guys updated, and this is something we are interested in doing for this patch. But yeah, that should be just a little bit of a quality of life feature for Ashe.
Awesome, yeah, and it's nice to have that in there. And obviously, if anything updates on that, Romanova and I will keep you posted across social and on various patch notes too. And moving on from Ashe into Atlas here, we're going to be messing around with Chrono Cannon and Setback. Adonis, you want to kind of highlight that one for us?
Yeah, so Chrono Cannon, we're reducing the max time, or the time to reach
Atlas
max charge from
reducen el
1.5
tiempo de
seconds to 1.4, and then
1.5
reducing the cooldown of setback from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Atlas is in an interesting place where, even though statistically he doesn't win a lot, he's been used a lot in pro matches, not as much as he was last year. He was basically first pick, first ban. We want to watch him closely, but we wanted to emphasize less his ability to kill and more really his ability to control the match. So we're excited to see how players use a 10-second setback, which can be super disruptive in match.
Nice, yeah. Give him a little more time to control the battlefield, so to speak. I had to do it, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'll be mean for that one. And last up on the... Yeah, right? Last up on the construct joke. It always gets through with Nico here. And, you know, last on the list for frontline champions, right, we want to roll into Fernando, which we're going to be looking into his charge ability. Nico, you want to kind of highlight where that came from, what we're looking into there?
Yeah, so this is another thing that came from an AOC suggestion. Fernando has been a staple in Paladins for a long time, and this change is just bringing his charge a little bit more in line with some other front lines that you see in the realm right now. So just a little bit more damage on the charge.
Creo que el co-campeón creo que es Flanco. No sé, porque en el trailer creo que se vio como tal, que era como tipo support, por lo que ayudaba a Victor. Pero toques por un momentico que en eso que te están haciendo como tal los cambios de balances. Como tal, creo que va a ser support. Creo que será support. O tipo como tipo pick. Que sirve como flanco, pero tiene un daño bestial y también sirve como... Yo creo que era un tipo pick o algo así, que tiene habilidades para curar a los aliados o ayudarlos. Y también tendría diferentes formas de como tal. No sé, pero espero tanto que muestren el nuevo campeón, porque actualmente creo que están haciendo solo... ¿Cómo decirlo? Solo cambio de balances. Attributos sí no sé nada, porque de este main.
These champions that people really like and have wanted certain changes for into a better place. So
yeah, we think Amani's a super cool champion in general. We like her. We think that she's winning okay right now, but she's not really seen as meta. And numbers-wise, she's a little bit behind some of the other damage characters. So we wanted to give her a slight bump, and this is mostly focusing on the ability to use these the capability to use these abilities more often. We think there's some really cool builds out there. We've been talking to some of the AOC members.
Pero sería bastante ya. Ese personaje parece un poquito roto y ya le reducen el cooldown.
Characters that the top players are deeming strong versus weak. We don't feel like Amani is being seen at a high level as much as she probably should be. So this, I think, will just... It's not a huge change. It's very small, but we think this will put her in a much healthier state overall in the game.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people who are excited to hear that. I'm pretty sure one of our old AOC members are even excited anytime Amani gets any kind of special treatment here. So next we're going to go into Shaolin. I know a lot of people have felt different ways about Shaolin changes since the new season started this year. So for his talents, from Sand Trap, we're increasing the damage from 100 to 300. And I mean, who doesn't like more damage, right? And for his abilities, the Desert Silence, you're increasing
ya, el rol del nuevo campeón va a ser support. Ya tengo aquí la información de como tal de todo el parche. Ya la subieron, qué raro. Eso es súper raro que ya subieron la información de todo el parche.
I guess in an instant, depending on what's going on in the
va a ser tipo
situation,
support.
that could be a lot of a difference for
Pero ya lo
his
traduzco a
character
tiempo,
and,
ya.
what mode you're playing too. Like if you're playing like a siege mode, etc.
Yeah, I think we've been fairly happy with how Shaolin has been feeling recently. I think this is just a little bit more love for him, getting him kind of a little bit closer to where we want him to be. And as you mentioned, 0.5 seconds can actually be almost an eternity, especially when you're in the middle of a fight, you're trying to do something really quickly. So we think that this damage increase, the duration of the silence increase will kind of give him that little bit of love that he needs.
Antes de que me salte el copyright.
And so with that said, we're going to go into another character whose name begins with an S, Strix. So this was an AOC suggestion that we ended up putting in. Cooled mags is going to be increased time between ammo regeneration ticks, 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. Before we get into the second one, can you elaborate on the decision to go forward with this and like working with the AOC? For this one, guys?
Yeah, these are kind of hand in hand a little bit, but it's really Strix has kind of calmed down a little bit. He was top of
Ya tenemos aquí el parche.
the meta for a very long time, but this card specifically is a little bit legacy in the numbers that it provides. Essentially, Strix is in a spot where you could have these cards at a very low level, and it felt like infinite ammo. There wasn't really
va a ser apoyo, va a tener 2200 de salud,
and similar to
armar pistola, pistola oficial, antifuego, capacidad. Miremos después de esto, aquí están con lo de
this is going to allow flank specifically to have a better chance at fighting him, catching him with no ammo, or catching him during his reload.
Las skins.
And with that said, the other change that we're getting with him is reducing the maximum ammo increase from 2 and 2 to 1 and 1. So, not a bad place to be in.
El campeón siempre vale 6,000 de oro.
Much, I guess that's probably always the fear with when you guys are balancing these characters. You probably want to make sure it's not too much, but it puts them in the right place, like a good place
Solar,
to sit at. So we're going to go into the last one here before I pass it back to Avi for Vivian. So Opportunity and Chaos, we're reducing the bonus damage 20% to 10%.
No, o sea, lo que me de género, o sea, el tigre
no, nerf, so...
Yeah, I think Vivian has had an opportunity, so to speak, to shine recently. I think this change is bringing her playstyles kind of in line with each other, so, as giving different options a little bit more viability in that sense. I think you obviously will notice the difference, but it shouldn't be super negative for you, and I think this puts her in a better place overall.
Clasificación de nivel 2 en ese spray.
So, with that said, those are the last damage balance changes for this patch, and we're going to go right into support. I'm going to pass it back to you.
Recarga máxima 1.2%.
Thank you very much, yeah.
I always want to call you Abby, Nick.
Carga base 20,
I go by many names, but know that I will always do at least one double thumbs up.
El daño ya entendí el de este. Y Manny, la bomba.
On the list, we have Furia, right? So on Furia's change, we took a look at Pyroblade, took a look at her Light of Dawn. Again, these were both AOC changes. Adonis, you want to kind of take us through what we're doing on Furia's
un poquito a Charlie.
Yeah, and just right before Furia, I do want to mention, we've been looking at supports a lot this patch, so you're going to see multiple shifts coming up in characters. Some that people have been wanting buffs, and some that players
la carta de munición le van a quitar, ya no va a ser en 2 en 2, sino en 1 en 1. Por cada nivel vas a subir solo 1, no 2.
So we've reduced the time until Wrath starts to decay from 3 seconds to 2 seconds,
Pequeña Biblia,
and it
no sé
increased
cuál
the
es el
rate of
Furtión
Wrath
del Caos, no sé
decay
cuál es
from
esta.
2.5 every 1
Furia,
second to
reducen
10
hasta
every
la
1
ira,
second. So you may notice
cadencia de
that
tres
those
dados.
numbers are drastically
Tasa de
different.
aire
This was because
de
there was
cada 10
essentially you had infinite uptime as long as you were healing every 10 seconds.
Este re
On
feo
your
fue
increased
aumentar la
damage from
oración
the
de
Wrath meter, and we
curación
really
de
just want to bring this in
agros
line.
no
So this is now
bufean.
something players are going to have to think about and manage
La
their Wrath meter
curación
to get that increased damage
Grog aumenta de
during fighting.
1.5.
And then
multiplica
Light
esta
of Dawn
carta.
card, we've reduced the shield given from 50 scaling to
¿Qué es
35
esto? ¿Es como
scaling.
un programa
Again,
nuevo
this
de
was a really
Hydrates?
powerful
No
card,
sé.
so on top of, excuse me, the
Aumenta la
1400
inicio
health
general
that Furia
y
provided,
tipo
she also
corrección de
provided
errores.
250 shield. Most
General.
players had this maxed.
Muy
We
poquito de
felt like
errores, hay,
that
hay
just
bastantes
the
más.
output potential was too strong, especially in comparison to our other supports, and so we've brought that down in line.
Now, as the guy with the Furia tattoo, I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed, but I think she's still going to be pretty powerful.
Vamos a ver, talentos.
She's still gonna be
Batería
good,
sigue
trust me.
ventaja, erosión de masas de
She's still going to be doing
20%.
okay. So I'm right there with you guys. Moving on to
Objetivos aliados se marcan destino de capacidad utilizada a través de paredes. Solo se puede marcar una aliada a la vez.
we're looking at the
Tenía
Spirit's
150
Domain card,
unidades.
where we just increased the healing
Lo que ver en
percent from
gameplay.
500 to 600. Nico, you want to go into a little bit of the methodology behind this for Grok's throughput?
Yeah, sure. So we had, like Adonis was saying before, I think we did some really cool stuff with Grok in the last update. I think this is fairly straightforward. We just want to bring him just a little bit of a bump. We're fairly happy where he is. So 500 to 6 will just be that little bit that he needs to feel just that much better.
Awesome. Pretty straightforward on that front. Grok mains rejoice. I can't wait to see some more crazy stuff with Grok. Every time. And kind of moving along here, guys, we've got a lot of supports on this one. Moving into IO, everyone's favorite little summoner here. We're taking a look at Moonlight as well as Moonwalk. So on Moonlight, we increased healing from 125 every seconds to 150 every 0.15 seconds. So
la
just
traducción
bump
está
that
toda
up a little
mala.
bit, as well as decrease the
Calidad,
base
los
maximum
enemigos
Moonlight.
repetitivos de
I know this kind of
autorización.
goes into, again, Adonis, a little bit of the throughput on IO and bringing her a little more in line, like you mentioned. Do you want to kind of talk to a little bit of the methodology there?
Yeah, again, this is something we discussed with AOC, so more shout-outs to the Assembly of Champions. They've been great.
Como que haría el lore de
I was in an
Paladins.
interesting spot. Statistically, she wins a lot. The higher you go up in ELO, the more in line she becomes. A lot of this is from Luna, just the ability to capture a point. Typically in the lower level ELOs, we're not seeing players counter Luna as well, or maybe don't have the knowledge base, but at a higher skill level, she doesn't feel as impactful comparatively. So this is a
No, que raro,
shift more than a
Paladins y algo hasta
buff
con
nerf,
personaje casi al mismo tiempo.
where she's going to be getting more healing. Players felt like, and we agree, that it feels like all you're doing is healing right now with IO, just to try and keep up with the other supports. And in this case, you're going to have more throughput, but not be able to do it as much. So the decreased capacity is a big part of this. So you're going to be healing more effectively, but you will reach that point where you can't heal anymore much sooner. And then we also have a card change with this. So Moonwalk, we increased the card that increases your Moonlight capacity has gone from 6% scaling to 8% scaling.
Una skin
So
para
players that do want to get back
Por
to,
800
I have a
bloquea
ton
porque
of healing juice in my kit. They
200
can
hacen
do so,
1000
they just have to
oro.
invest the cards to get that.
Y si tiene el pase de 2020 te desbloquea
Nice. So a little bit of that
esta, la
investment
única.
counterbalance on the loadouts,
Y
right? As we always
ahora
kind of
nivel
go back and
50.
forth on. And we've got 3 more
La
actually
de
on the
Furia es
list.
interesante,
If you're a
pero la
support main this
de como
patch,
te hace una temática como de
you got a lot going on.
dragones, cazadores de dragones.
So moving
algo así
into,
es.
I think everyone's favorite hot topic lately, good old Genos, right? On the Genos side of things, we always see feedback on Genos, and Genos is one that we're constantly looking into. So on this one, you know, we're looking into light years in particular, which was another mention that the AOC brought up to us. And we're basically going to be decreasing the range scaling from 10 to 10% to 4%, roughly. So we're kind of scaling it back a little bit. Nico, going into this, obviously we're looking into some of his range and movement on this area. Any specific feedback on that one in particular?
Yeah, I think Adonis and I could probably both speak on this, but essentially, Genos' identity recently has been hanging back behind walls. If he positions properly and the other team doesn't hunt him down, there are times where you actually don't see him very often. And what we're trying to do with this here is encourage Genos players to be slightly closer to the action while maintaining his ability, obviously, with the rest of his kit to support his team. So we're kind of shifting where he is likely to be played in any given engagement, and hopefully that brings him kind of closer to the identity we want him to have.
Sounds great. Yeah, just making sure. Again, we talked about Furia. Now I'm going to talk about Genos. Genos is my other guy, so making us feel a little bit more threatened. Probably a good idea lately.
It's not a good patch for you, Nick.
I'm doing a lot of dancing and tossing through walls, and you know what? I respect it, guys. You're going to make me a better player. Thank you. Kind of moving on from that, obviously we want to touch on Maldamba a bit. Now I know Maldamba is one of the supports that's getting the most amount of changes on this update, Adonis. Obviously we're tapping into some of his healing here, but I'm going to kind of let you walk us through this because these are all pretty interconnected with how his healing output is coming through.
Yeah, so Genos already, his throughput was a little bit lower on average for the average player since the Season 3 changes, and we probably hit him harder than some of the other supports. So we really just wanted to bump them up in a few spots. So Mending Spirits, we've changed from 250 every 1 second for 5 seconds to 315 those like clutch heals. It is still a heal over time, similar to Genos though. And then we've also taken a look at Gord. So we've increased the damage per tick from 40 to 45 and increased the healing per tick from 60 to 65. On top of that, Spirits Chosen will heal when you hit Mending Spirits. We've increased the heal from 200 to 220. So he's getting some slight numbers increase, but I think the most important one is the Mending Spirits is consolidating that heal value into a smaller time frame. So if players are super low, they're going to get the same amount, but get faster is going to be way more important in active engagements.
Sounds great. Yeah, kind of helping Maldamba down that.
Yeah, you said Genos like 3 times while you were saying that. Yeah, I was just like, get out of here. What the? Oh my Gord, you know? Oh my Gord.
Oh my Gord. There it is. There's number 2. I hope chat's keeping track of this. We're just gonna get like a counter at the end, like here's all the puns that were made during the.
I gotta make
strategy.
Thunderbrush
quiero ver
proud,
campeón en funcionamiento, sus habilidades.
Very fair. Very fair. Last on the support list, right? Kind of tapping into this. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. We're looking at Pip, right? And with Pip, we kind of took a look at his potion launcher, right, Nico?
Yeah, so pretty straightforward change, as you mentioned. Essentially, we have removed the in-air inaccuracy for Pip's potion. So this will benefit both Combat Medic and kind of just your standard Pip play. He's jumping all over the place. Finally, you won't find your shots veering off someplace that you weren't expecting because you were jumping. And I think this is something that complements, it's a huge quality of life change that complements his playstyle, and I think it will kind of make Pip mains happy.
You love to hear it. You love to hear it.
Pip the doodly do right there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's number 3. We're just rolling. This is good. This is really good. I'm a big fan. So. Actually, shout outs to the people watching if you know where that is from. 90s, 2000s kids, what's up? Gotta love it. So moving on from that too, guys, that's a look at our balance. Obviously, these are all available on the patch notes as you guys are scrolling through with us. So if you want to back into that, as we've all mentioned multiple times in this section, huge shout out to the AOC for helping us with a lot of these this time around, and always giving us good feedback from the community and making sure we're punching through stuff and doing balance updates that feel good for everybody, right? So now kind of moving out of balance, Romanova, I think it's actually time for us to start talking about like general changes, some of the new content maybe. You want to go ahead and take us into that?
Oh, absolutely. All right, so the first thing we're going to get into is the rank splits. So rank split 2 and map rotation.
Ay, ¿qué pasó?
Specific map rotations, as you can see what's going in, what's going out on the patch notes document if you're following along. Again, paladins.com/news if you're looking to follow along with us. But the rank split 2, destructive tendencies, so there's a limited edition Ash Abbot. I think the most important thing to really talk about right now, though, because this has been the same since I think our first announcement for the season, is that right now we're going to be having a soft reset and 2 new rewards. Right, Adonis?
Yes, we are going to be doing the soft reset we traditionally do. I'm sorry, I was looking at something else.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I threw you with a whammy there.
So we have some really cool rewards. Like we said, the Ash avatar is coming in, and players are going to have to requalify for their matches once again. And once they do, they will get the gold that is standard for the ranked resets.
So again, you can check the map rotations on there. And I guess I'll toss it, even though I was just tossing it to you, we're going to toss it right back to you.
Awesome.
Yeah, to the direct purchases. So we do have an exciting one that we're going to talk about right after, but in general, what went into Design's head and, you know, the choice to make a lot more direct purchase coming up, you know, I guess the benefit for me, as I see, is people can, you know, they have access to some of these avatars and different things that they may have not have had access to before, and that's exciting.
Yeah, this is a change we made. I
¿Qué
believe
juego
a
salía?
patch or
Hoy
two
salió un
ago, where we
juego.
started selling accessories for direct purchase, similar to how we did for skins. So players who just want to access the content without rolling chests have that option. We really like this. A couple got added this patch. So the Snack Time avatar, the Cutesy Zen, Snake and Maeve from. These were actually community submissions to our first Battle Pass years ago,
right.
And they're available for 7,500 gold, so you don't have to pay crystals for them. So if you like the cutesy avatars, they're there. A couple other stuff like sprays, the Get Wrecked one, I think is the big one, or my favorite one coming for direct purchase as well. So if you want to spray Get Wrecked after you wreck someone, you can now do so.
That is like
I mean,
the default
that's a
spray.
good way to pop off.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of that spray in Ireland's esports scene for a
Ya quiero el
lifetime.
campeón.
And it complements.
It's a
the fact
good
that we can now get-
one!
It complements the fact
Yeah.
that we can now get double kills and above, right? No more hitching.
Right? Absolutely.
With that said, the one direct purchase that I'm really excited for, it's going to be as DLC though, not as like with crystals and whatnot, is we are getting a new mount. We are getting the Winged Drake mount. Could be a hint at this new battle pass. Am I right? Those following
So
along, you
good.
probably already saw.
Check that out.
But so cool. I know that we don't
Ah, la nueva
announce
montura.
the game as often.
La
and
hemos
they take
mostrado, pero ahí
a
está la
lot
nueva
of
aventura.
work. So, you know, please,
dragón.
you know,
Ush,
shout
grandísima.
out. Ooh, there it is in game. Look at that thing.
Se
it
cree
is
grande.
just- it's so much work. So shout outs to our animation team with rigging and everything that they have to go through in
Así
order
porque
to
Ale
set up a new
la
mount.
montura y lo
'Cause
baja uno.
I think the process, from what I remember for this,
Es
from
grandísima.
talking to previous animators, is that
No me gusta cómo
each
corre.
character individually has to be rigged
No
mount,
me
and there's
gusta cómo
that is
corre. Se ve rara.
there's just so much that goes into doing this on the animation
Se
team.
ve
So shout
rara.
outs
Se
to
ve
them
muy,
for
pero muy
working
rara.
so hard to make stuff like this possible for our players.
I just got to take a moment. Like we're gonna take a moment here. I know we did at the beginning. Looking into that mouth, man. He is ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? With that fire.
Yeah.
Oof.
Se ve demasiado rara.
if he can
No, no
fly,
me
though. He might
gusta.
be- he might
Se
be
ve
like a
muy,
dodo
pero muy
bird.
rara. No, no me gusta.
He gets a nice little
Camina muy
direction
feo.
with some hang time.
Yep. There's some really cool tech in there where he spreads his
No me
wings
gustó.
when he's
Camina muy,
falling.
muy
So if you're
feo,
jumping
no.
off from high places,
Nada de
you'll see-
nada.
well, attempt to glide.
Simplemente no. Se ve muy
He
feo.
tries his
En el
best.
dibujo se ve
Right,
mejor,
Then
creo que se ve
you give
mejor.
him an A for effort.
No, no me
an
gustó,
A
no me
for
gustó,
effort,
no me gustó.
okay?
Muy fea.
So,
You got it.
Muy
You
mala.
gotta give
with
credit
that
where credit is due.
said,
Nah. No la compraría.
dragons. Oh my! We're gonna go into it.
Ay, ¿qué pasó? No. Se trabó.
If you haven't guessed already or read our patch notes,
No sé,
our
si se hay
patch
trabadas
is
es por
going
un
to be
internet.
called Darkness and Dragons for our battle pass.
Si hay trabadas es por un
Maeve
internet
is
porque
not
está yendo
getting
re
a
mal
skin.
estos días porque está condicionado.
we what? Oh wait, no, she is, right? She's still getting.
Where's my all Maeve battle pass?
All four.
I need it.
Everyone is so betrayed right now.
All people that are like actually big Maeve stands are actually sad inside. They're like, man, let's see how long we can keep this going. But unfortunately, not this one. So we're gonna roll right into it. I'm gonna pass it over to
Sinceramente
you.
no me
Abby,
gustó ni
go over the
5 como
format
sale
changes.
skin de la
Thank you,
montura.
Romanova. Yeah, I'm so happy we were able to do a little bit of an April Fool's joke, right? You kind of have to lighten the mood. So moving on, going into the Darkness and Dragons Battle Pass. If you guys are following along on the patch notes, I'm sure you're already seeing some of the really cool stuff coming in here. Really excited to dive in. And with this Battle Pass too, I know, Adonis, a couple changes have been made. Do you want to kind of highlight those before we hop into looking at all the skins?
Yeah, so we've actually increased the total total levels that the Battle Pass has from 80 to 120. This is going alongside an increased duration to complete the Battle Pass, though, for those that are worried. So it's going to be an extended duration, and that duration matches the number of levels that we have added. So you do have significantly more time to get all your rewards. We've also increased the total number of challenges, so there's 10 more challenges to help increase that pace that you're going to be going through the Battle Pass. So 60 in total now. We've also added a new chest, so joining Magistrate's Resolve and Resistance's Daring. I hope I didn't mix those up. Kevin will yell at me otherwise. We've added the Abyss's Destruction chest, which has a number of skins. This chest is also really cool because we've added some secondary content to it. So there's emote avatars, I believe an announcer pack in it, so it is not just skins. There's a wide variety of items to help kind of round out your owned cosmetics so you can get and unlock more accessories, which is something we're trying to encourage, I think, for all of our players, especially when you look at the direct purchases we added as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of continuing off of it. Honestly, I'm just too excited. Let's just hop right into these skins because they're pretty incredible. Starting with our instant unlock, we're going to jump into our first splash art here, Draconic Fighter Victor. So he's going to be your instant unlock at
Leandro, vamos a ver.
Pass. You'll also get, as always, a loading frame, a really great avatar. Those you guys can see on the patch notes. But Draconic Fighter Victor here, what a killer job of the art team. I absolutely love those horns.
Yeah, and you can see too in the splash art, he's getting the cardio in.
Oiga, ¿hay más skins para Dotus?
Absolutely.
Ah, no, es Víctor.
And here he is in game too.
Es Víctor. No es Androsus, es Víctor.
The tail is just pristine.
Me sigue gustando más la del... Aparte de porque a Víctor lo hacen cada vez más furro.
It's a girthy boy.
Víctor tiene la del lobo y tiene la del dragón.
Fantastic.
Serían las dos de furro.
We've done some really cool skins with him in the past, but...
Ah, no, se trabe, mierda,
man. I think the team really killed it. You know, shout out to Zach from tackling the character, Jeff doing the concept, and Jisu for doing.
Me tocó en YouTube porque en Twitch actualmente no me dejó ni cargarla.
But hopping in, that weapon though, am I right, Adonis?
Oh yeah,
that weapon is something.
Yeah,
else.
The favorite, or excuse me, my favorite part about this is definitely like the lava that's oozing out of the barrel after you stop firing.
Me gusta más la del lobo, sinceramente me sigue gustando más la del lobo.
Absolutely, it's just like every time you
Como
stop
que
firing,
cuando dispara bota como lavita.
It's kind of cleaning the lava out of the barrel, giving
¿Va
that nice
como con retraso?
Absolutely love it, and the nice dragon head on the back too. I'm a big fan of that one myself. The whole identity behind this skin is just really great. Again, capture that dragon essence, that dragon theme, and obviously we have some of the different abilities too. So looking at the grenade there, I know Romanova, you and I have talked about this in a couple different playtests and stuff too, but like having those nice ground effects are really awesome on here to get that lava out, right?
Vamos a ver los misiles.
Oh, absolutely. I just the lava effect. Shoutouts to our
Sinceramente, no me gusta.
Roland always killing it over there. And also too, I think it's really nice to point out not only just for like voice lines with these skins and everything, but also the sound effects to the audio team and Waddles. A lot of the people in the community love Waddles. Waddles and his team really work hard to really get these sound effects, and they work with design actually for the voice packs too, and I think his voice sounds great too. I don't know if we can get a couple lines in there.
We'll see if we can take a listen. I'm not sure.
Use that, the video. Ooh.
That, super
he sounds
nice,
pretty vicious.
Guttural roar. Yeah, the dragon roar, right? I mean, you gotta have that. So that is kind of a look at Draconic Fighter Victor here, and I gotta say I love the ults, I love the weapon, the grenade. We've talked about it all. Really, really awesome stuff. Again, just kind of. The best part is that's your instant unlock, guys. Like that's what you're getting right out of the gate. So it's not half bad, And obviously, let's go ahead and kind of keep moving on here. Romanova, you want to go ahead and take us into number 2 on the Battle Pass list?
I would be happy to. It's the sniper boy. We're gonna go into Scalebane Strix. You know, so a lot of these characters are champions, excuse me.
La Strix
in
me
this
gusta
battle
más.
pass. This is our level 10 unlock. Are, you know, they're either fighting against the dragons or they are the dragon side. So this one clearly Strix, trained pro, known dragon hunter, obviously. Just look at him. It looks too like the way that they did his cape. It's like he skinned, you know, one of his drag hunted and made them part of his, you know, uniform that he wears when going into battle. Also, we need to point out, I pointed this out, I think, when I first saw the splash art.
Sí, sería
Look
como
at
que
the
casa,
chest
que
hair.
casa
Absolutely
Victor,
no
se
hair on
los
his arms to show off his tattoos, but the chest hair is lighter than his beard
la cabeza,
almost.
le arranca la piel,
Very
y se la
burly
pone.
man.
He's ready to
Yeah,
go,
very-
right?
Vamos a ver la
You got the
in-game.
beard. You got the chest
Yeah.
hair.
He,
It's great.
it keeps him warm, you know?
When you're out hunting dragons,
Keeps
you
him
know,
warm on those
long
birthdays.
nights. Tough
Yeah,
trips.
I really like I like the overall theme of this battle pass a lot, where we have 2 skins that are more draconic fighters. We saw Victor already, we'll see the next one soon. And then 2 dragon hunters. And Strix is just like decked out in his kills. Like I don't want to say that's Victor on his head, but it's, you know, a little similar, maybe a friend of Victor's. Victor and Strix may not have the best relationship when they actually face off in a fight.
Absolutely, and again, I got to throw some attention to, again, just the weapons on this splash art, right? When you're looking at the weapons, I really love how the art team and the rest of the team behind these designs really tackled integrating some of the bone too, right? When you have those Dragon Hunter type themes, it's awesome to see the bones of those dragons they've taken out, right? Just endorse or cover their armor rather. It's really awesome. And now we get to look at them in game too.
La capa me gusta.
Yeah.
Absolutely
and I mean,
gorgeous.
again, look at the cape. Look at there's like even some like scales or, you know, the textures on his cape going into the dragon, you know, head as part of it. He just looks brutal. It really fits the sniper aesthetic, in my opinion. And look at the sniper rifle too. Look at the end of it. It's just so cool. The effects on it.
The
all
team
these weapons
again
look
just
like-
absolutely killed it.
Like you said, like the weapons are very handcrafted. It looks like we can probably take a look at the inspects here soon, where they've kind of like strung together these weapons through forging and other means, right? Integrating some like broken metal, some bone, some wood that they've formed into these weapons. I guess I'll just repeat myself there.
It's whenever you're talking weapons, it's always hard because you're just blown away. I mean, I know we work on these, we see them in playtests and stuff, but it just consistently blows my mind just how much detail goes into these weapons. Again, you know, great job. I think it was Ryan tackled the weapon design on this Strix skin, which he absolutely killed.
Oh yeah.
So good.
We see the ultimate maybe too in here. I feel like the flash out probably has some cool effects. Ooh, we got some cool emotes actually too. Just so you guys know. For the
nice little
emoji
touch.
fans out there.
But yeah, absolutely gorgeous skin. And we're getting the fire, of course.
Yeah, that's when you're cooking. That's the fire. It's for when you're cooking the 10 noobs, right?
Can you smell
Exactly.
what's
Getting
said?
those
That's what the
pentas
youngsters
that,
are saying
me gusta.
nowadays.
Sinceramente sí me gustó. Porque la de Víctor sí
Oh,
no me
so
convenció
good.
mucho
Absolutely
porque
Strix.
nada, me gusta más la de Lobo.
Oh yeah.
Y la de Lobo sí la tengo.
And you know, kind of going on from Strix,
Ah,
you
sí, entonces
know,
otra vez,
let's
otra
take a
vez,
look
qué
at
fastidio.
the level 30 reward, right? So up
Oh,
next, I know, Nico, you and I have a history with the skin, which we'll probably
La Street me gusta más.
But level 30,
Sinceramente
we've
me
got
vale
a
más
nice
la,
look
me vale
at
más la pena la
Draconic
Street.
Enforcer Con coming up here in a second. Draconic Enforcer Con, probably one of the coolest skins in this Battle Pass again. I feel like Thunderbrush right now because he always is saying, the coolest skin, and we just keep going. They're just all so good. The team does an incredible job.
Hold up, the coolest is yet to come, but we'll get to that.
We still have half to go, right? I mean,
Right.
over half, technically. It's good times, but Draconic Enforcer Con, really, really great. And, you know, if you guys were along on the patch notes, I'm sure you're seeing them now. Here we're seeing them on the screen. Snapping that blade.
No sé.
And I know
Se ve rara,
Adonis
pero
is
bien.
something, too. Like, this is the first time we've actually seen Khan without a helmet on. We're seeing a facial design here.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. I'm always a fan of skins that change kind of the idea of a character or something that's like almost a central piece of them. Khan has always had a helmet on. You've never been able to see his face. And we've kind of renditioned a draconic version of what Khan would be like and what he would look like. And he's very smug. You can see him just like shatter that blade in his hands while just very happy with himself, very content and smug. In his own strength. I'm a big fan of like the beef castle characters. Rom is another example of it, but this is kind of a very imposing figure that you're going to see when you're fighting.
Also, I feel like Beef Castle, I've never heard that term until we had the 2019 AOC, and I think it was like a mix of like Huga and just a Colombian calling Rom a Beef Castle. That like now I just like anytime there's a beefy boy, we're like, oh yeah, this guy's just Beef Castle, man. And I mean, yeah, I mean it fits, and I think it's so cool too that I don't know how well those wings are gonna work holding that up in the air, but you know, probably some crazy aerodynamics going on with him.
Me gusta.
He's good.
Está buena, me gusta.
I was gonna say, maybe with him.
No, está muy buena, sí, para admitirlo sí está muy buena. Muy pero muy buena.
But here we're seeing
muy buena sí está.
Khan in game. Yeah, I had to make the joke.
Me gusta bastante.
Keep track of this chat.
Me gusta bastante, me está gustando.
We're looking at Khan in game and just having those nice wings on the back and on the kilt on the backside there. It's just awesome. I personally am a huge fan of the weapon of this one. Much like Victor, you know, you've got that like dragon lava kind of spewing out.
La única que no me gustaba la de Victor. Ah, yo creo la de Furia. La de Furia.
I don't, man, I'm just in awe. I absolutely love this skin again, how everything's moving on the top and working around. The thing I'm the biggest fan of, though, with this one is how you've got the nice little fuse lighter on the end of the gun, you know, for when that lava's coming out, just to give it the extra spark, right, guys?
Literally, Nick. Literally. The extra spark.
See, that one.
The thing I love... that one, I don't think you even meant to do that one. The thing I love about this weapon, Nick, is that it feels almost organic. Like it came straight from the forged smiths of Dragonkind, you know what I mean?
Me gustó bastante.
It's really brutal, too, if we can all take a listen to it real quick. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, they were playing the voice lines through that and stuff like that. If people did hear it, he was like... I'm not gonna even impersonate it. It was like really deep and bellowing, but it was super cool.
As it should be.
But I would like to say we got the best skin coming up right now. No, it's not a Mo the Cat skin. It is Soulfire Furia. I am so excited for a new Furia skin.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's show her. She's beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love her. Look at that. She's glistening.
La de Furia.
Swords. No wings. She don't need them. She's already an angel.
Absolutely gorgeous.
So she's definitely the side that's hunting these dragons. Clearly, they're gonna burn. I don't know how
interesting about
facing that, you know?
I don't know how well you can burn dragons, but oh my goodness, yeah.
What's interesting about this skin is this was the first symmetrical, so we had to go through some additional rigging hoops to make it work for her animation set, which is just that much more impressive.
No sé qué estará pasando con internet porque está bastante
Furia, you know, looking at a lot of stuff. Furia is one of those like really complicated characters that until Thunderbrush and the rest of the team broke it for me, I didn't realize how much work goes into Furia's design, you know, and especially with these swords, pulling them forward to the front is just really, really awesome.
I'm in love with it so much.
It's so wonderful, and hopefully but this is another skin that's just really, really great. The team did a really, really good job on it too, as always. I think it was Denny that took a crack at this character with Jeff doing the concept again, and it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous skin. It's even more gorgeous in game, honestly.
That fire blade.
Look at her. Oh my gosh. and like the wings being the swords now, she just like you don't want to mess with her. You just want to like you want to be on her side because she's definitely the person that you want on your side of the battlefield. So look at the details in her gun, like her sword gun. It's so good.
The weapon is killer. I love the orb too, like just how it's all unified together. It's just such a killer weapon. Really different from the rest of Fury's weapons as well, which I really enjoy.
Me gusta.
Yeah, this really stands out. To me, it's kind of similar to
Me gusta bastante, me gusta bastante,
orb
bastante.
in the middle. That's kind of the center power of it.
Absolutely, yeah, where you have that nice little like centrifuge holding everything together. Even when it fires, you're getting the little feathers off the top and the bottom. I mean, it's just such an incredible skin. Everything looks so solid on it. I'm always one for Fury skins though. If you give me a Fury skin, I'm always obsessed with it, no matter what.
Me gusta.
And then having the swords pop out of the back when.
Parece que si bajaba la calidad, puedo seguir igual de calidad.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And they appear on your allies too.
Ah, en las alas tienen espadas.
I didn't even know that one. That's
Muy
incredible.
interesante.
That's so cool.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Just doing the nice damage buff with some raw swords, right? Nothing like a few extra swords.
And you hear her voice, she's like so confident and in charge.
Absolutely. She is ready to command the battlefield, which is just fantastic. Furia. What a good final one on there too, right? I mean, this is, again, such a good battle pass. Really. And I mean, we still have half to go too, right? Like we haven't even rolled into the recolors yet. So on the recolor side of things, you know, obviously you guys are seeing these on the patch notes as well. We still have a lot more to talk about, so we're just kind of skim through the top of these. So we're looking at Hunter's Bane Victor, gives him that nice like bluish tone, right, Romanova, which is great. Big fan of that one.
That theme with a lot of these.
I love the world
Kind
visual.
of more of a indigo blue.
I love the blue on the weapon on this Strix as well, just really, really awesome. And again, these will be unlockable at level 70, 9 con will be the 100, and the 120 will be our final Fury recolor too. Just a nice like color contrast.
This is the best one, even better than the Fury that we just saw. It is like just the face paint alone, like it's like her war paint when we get to, oh my gosh, you guys, if you've seen it already in the patch notes, look at it. Like, oh my gosh, man, like she took like the blood of some dragon she like killed and like war painted herself up. It's fantastic and lovely, and I know people have been waiting for a new Furious skin, so you know, happy birthday. And then we're gonna go right into it, I guess. Nick?
Yeah. This is a good old Golden Rock. So as Adonis teased a little earlier, we have a, well, I guess it's not a surprise anymore. Golden Grok is going to be coming this update to give all of the bands another little pinnacle to work with, right? Mastery level 50s with all of our gold skins. Just an incredible
que el Víctor era una...
Like we said, we still have a lot to go,
como
which is pretty incredible. So we're actually going to just roll right into the next piece here, which is our update to Magistrate's Archives. So this is a map update to go along with, I'm sure you guys have heard of this gentleman Corvus coming around, right? And so moving into this Romanova, kind of walk us a little bit through, you know, the map design on a high level real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, in general, Alex M and Rick R took ownership of making this map really stand out.
Y esa foto me recordó a Gravity Falls de una manera que parecía copyright.
Alex did the Karn and Valera statues.
No sé, me hizo recordar mucho a Gravity Falls.
Rick worked on much of the exterior and interior architecture.
Oye, el nuevo campeón, ¿qué? ¿No lo van a mostrar o qué? Yo como que aquí esperando que muestren las habilidades del nuevo campeón y nada.
And also, the postcard that we saw at the beginning, and you may have seen in our teaser, shout out to Betty from the marketing art team for doing these for our last one and did it again for this. So you'll just see all the greatness, too, that we just mentioned from our environment team working on this.
Es como que lo hicieron... Está bien, pero... No sé, para necesita un cambio de... Sinceramente creo que necesita un cambio de motor y un enderezamiento muy grande. Alguien que le meta mano a ese código y le arregle todo. Creo que para él sería bien deshacerlo completamente y volverlo a hacer. Sé que se demora ratico,
I don't remember who has
Creo
the higher
que
tally. Do you? I
como van a hacer como un Overwatch.
You know, let's call it even.
Era mía la piedra de Celis. Tiene que algo que ver con el lore.
Perfect. I like that. We'll kind of roll with that. But yeah, I mean, that's Majesty Archives, as Romanova said.
Creo que si a Paneis hacer un Paneis 2 con mejor motor gráfico, haciendo todo el código, limpiándolo y haciendo un código más limpio, en vez de ir sacando actualización que se cagan todo, cuando salga esa actualización ya va a estar jodido el juego como puesto. Ojalá sacar una actualización así que uno diga, oh por Dios, ya el juego está bien, mejores gráficas, mejor desplazamiento. Porque yo estaba jugando y sinceramente he tenido bajas a 15 FPS y tengo una gráfica muy buena. Ah, que es el trailer que damos el día de ayer, ¿cómo fue? El nuevo campeón. ¿No support?
But I survived. Something protected me. I knew this power could end the war, could save the realm. But the lying oracle tricked me. And these horrors I've unleashed are worse than any war. The abyss, mortal, deadly.
Yo creo que va a ser como tipo
But by my own hands, it will bend. For I am Corvus, son of Khan. I will control the abyss, and I will save this realm. For the magistrate.
No sé.
There he
is.
Ah, está bien juzgando.
This is probably one of the coolest champion reveals I've been able to do. I know Romanova and I have been really excited. I know Adonis and Nico have been really excited. And we're hopping right in here with the splash art. So Corvus, Nico, walk us through. Who is Corvus? What does he do? What role does he fill?
Absolutely. So Corvus is the newest support champion coming to the realm. Let me make that clear. And real quick, I just want to give shout-outs to the whole team. It has been absolutely a pleasure working with them. On every aspect of this champion. It's been so smooth because they let us do what we do, essentially. But so Corvus is the son of...
Ah, ahí se quedó. No. ¿Qué pasó? Se quedó, no, preciso que no quería ver. ¿Qué pasó? Ya volvió, no.
He is kind of the...
No, ¿qué está pasando?
By his own merit, he's come across some pretty wonky of the magistrate, which you guys don't even know about.
Bueno, ahí están todos los Fernandos bajo de salud.
He essentially has run afoul of the abyss. You know, Ceres tricked him into summoning Rom. He actually sacrificed a girl to turn Ceres into Ceres, town of Ceres. If you're a bit of a lore buff, that's a little bit complicated, but we'll get. And now he is taking the power of the abyss into his own hands to do what must be done.
So great, man. Corvus, and obviously we're already in game with this one. I'm not even going to hold back, right? Kevin, Adonis, Nico, let's start right off by looking at his ability. Going with his pistol, you want to kind of break that one down for us, Nico?
Sure, yeah. So his pistol is probably the most clean, so to speak, easiest to understand. It's a submachine pistol, 50 round mag, 7 damage per shot. With a pretty fast fire. And this is kind of a medium to short range weapon that kind of complements the rest of his kit. It's definitely impactful while also
en Palais no se puede cortar de carga, en Palais siempre la animación es
completa. As far as weapons before.
No se pueden hacer como otros juegos que cuando uno hace cachazo o pega no puede cortar, pero en Palais no.
This is a much different style. This is definitely a weapon that we hadn't hit before that we were excited to bring into the realm.
Ahí se quedó.
We think it has a unique...
No, ¿por qué se queda? Si el internet está bien, entre comillas. Se quedó. Ay, qué fastidio.
Oh yeah.
So great, right?
Nico, remember?
¿Qué está pasando? Y otra vez se quedó. Pero eso cuando quedó el campeón nuevo. No.
Went with the offhand.
Diría que más o menos para el 10, 13.
So cool. This was the first character.
Sí, de aquel viernes sacan el BTS. Diría que para la otra semana ya la trae más arribita para ir para el 15.
Some of the meetings, watching you guys kind of develop this character from the start to finish and what he became, and he just
Siempre lo
he's so
sacan un
cool.
miércoles, tocar
It's been
calendario.
such a pleasure. I can actually run you through, Nick, if you don't mind, what we see on screen right now with the heal. So we actually
Yo diría, si sacan el PTS ahorita el viernes 3,
so when you heal an
diría
ally,
que
you
para
see
el
a,
15, sí, para el 15 estaría
350
saliendo.
over
Creo que para el 15 ya
0.5
estaría saliendo la
second duration,
actualización.
so quick ticking health,
Es
and
el
then a
15, no
burst
se va a poder
again,
jugar,
so
obviamente,
reverse,
porque va a estar re mal el
almost a
juego.
volcanic feeling to it.
And that also kind of goes along with his first active ability too, right?
Absolutely. So part of what makes Corvus interesting is that you see on the screen now, he has a mark, the Mark of Fate. If you
No
mark
sé
an
por qué estaba
ally,
tan feo.
you gain benefits if you directly heal them with your alt fire, or what's also really cool, if you heal another ally, then your
Mete como
marked
una curación
ally
con
will
una
gain a
daguilla.
percentage of the health that you healed.
Ah, wow, interesante.
That's fantastic.
could
So you
really
get like a
open
nice
up-
little kind of balance.
Absolutely, and it can really open up, I think, a lot of different play styles. If you want to throw this on your flank, the mark will go through walls. The heal requires line of sight. You can throw this on your flank and heal your closest ally, even if they're not hurt, to get that little bit of health on your flank champion.
And you know, speaking of the Abyssal Dagger, right? It heals.
Si alguien tiene la marca y
that's
curas a
really
otro,
solid,
lo
but
curarás
Adonis,
también.
what about his,
Por decir, si le pongo la marca
second
S,
ability here? What else does that dagger let him do?
no entiendo muy bien ahí.
So he has an escape. This is a two-part escape, though. This is actually something that we haven't had on a support before. So you're going to see here, you throw out an Abyssal Dagger, and you can refire it right before you have a small duration. And Corvus will actually teleport to the dagger. So it is a
Con la F
support
que
with
puede
a
atravesar
teleport
enemigos.
aspect to it. Really cool design.
Pero solo para
Nico can
uno,
probably run
es como
through the
ñe.
specifics around why we decided
que
to come
no.
up with this ability.
Yeah, so
Como
we
que
were
sí, no.
essentially, you know, wanting to have complements to
Creo
the
que
rest
uno lo
of the
matan
kit.
antes
You'll
de
see
hacer el
in a
teleport.
second here, but
Como raro.
this projection allows for mobility that a support hasn't really had.
Wow, 18.
And I, a couple times
Muchas
now,
veces
have jumped
obsesioné,
into
wow.
fights where I definitely should not have been there, but I've also gotten out of really sticky situations because this has that vertical mobility that some other movement abilities don't have. You can throw this up in the air if you wanted to, teleport straight up.
Creo que el primer campeón que
You
no van a
can
sacar roto
preemptively
un
throw it
paladín.
before you
Recuerdo
get,
que Mani estaba
you know,
rota,
completely knocked off
Dragao
the
estaba
edge by
roto.
an Ash Kinetic Burst, for example, and
Ah, puede
teleport
uno
back to
correr.
it. I think it just
Bueno,
opens
mucho
up
porque
a lot
el
of
personaje no tiene mucho daño que
additional
digamos.
intricacies with this champion.
Como nos saben en el
You know,
trailer, se
obviously,
notaba más con más
topping it all
daño,
off
con
with
más
the ultimate,
presencia.
right? And this is Entropic Breach. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. But let's take a look at it, and then Nico, kind of walk us through what the idea is behind Entropic Breach and what it adds.
No.
Minus a cool animation,
No.
right?
I absolutely love what Dim did with this
Ok.
ultimate animation coming up.
Yo pensé
and
que era una
shifting
copia
to
de
the
la
side.
ulti
What we
de...
see right now on Tropic Breach
¿Cómo
is,
se llama ese personaje? Un
an
personaje de
area
Corvus que tiene una
denial
ulti
where you rise up in the
prácticamente
air
igual.
and can fire
Pero no.
on targeting the ground to deal a
Se parece pero no
burst
es.
of percentage health, max percentage health as damage, and then leaving behind an abyssal pool that does additional ticking max percentage health.
Sale al aire y
Which
tira un...
means it is equally as impactful to
Un área de efecto.
those
Uf,
who
pero
are
la área de efecto
weaker
es bastante
and
grande.
those with lower health. In
Cubriría
addition
más
to,
o menos el punto completo.
causing a slow
Interesante
to
la
apply to
ulti.
enemies who are caught within that,
Es combinada con una
breach.
ulti de...
Fantastic. So you get some nice area
Gracias por el
time
light.
along with your teleportation and your healing, which is overall just a
Pior,
really
yo no voy a leer eso.
that kind of fills that
Y
niche
Piotro,
with
la
it.
guardo... ¿Qué? La guardo Kiss, algo así.
I think it adds things to
No sé, si malísimo leyendo el nombre, sí, ese nombre está muy raro. Pero gracias por el like.
As you see on screen here,
Ah,
it's
y me está
actually
siguiendo.
one of
Gracias.
the recolors. Nick, if you want to take it away.
Vamos a ver si llegamos a los 100
Yeah, for
seguidores.
sure. So this is,
No sé qué pasa
Exemplar,
después, pero vamos a ver
right?
llegar.
Exemplar is one of our recolors here. Exemplar available in game.
Está interesante, pero
60,000 gold. So you can buy
esperamos.
it either way, which is really, really solid. Again, killer work to the art team for working on this. I would want to say it was Thunderbush that tackled a
Todo
lot
para
of
el viernes el
splashes here
PTS y
for
sale el
us.
viernes el PTS,
And,
como
we're actually
raro
just gonna be
debería salir el
cycling through
viernes,
those
como siempre.
splashes too. So up next, you know, we also have Abyssal Acolyte Corvus. I love this one with the face, right? You get some nice purple in the face. And this one's actually available through our Season Pass, which is the 2019-2020 Season Pass. If you haven't picked it up already, it's just growing and growing. There's more great stuff in there. And finally, topping it off, you've got good old Golden Corvus available at Mastery Level 50 right out of the gate with an awesome dagger to
Skin
boot.
de oro.
Just really, really solid. And kind of bringing it all home too, right? We want to hop into Pyrelord Magnus, which is This is
Una
probably one of
skin
the coolest
de
things,
como la que
that
sacaron
we've
a
done for a
Víctor,
while. It's actually a direct
a
purchase
Khan
premium skin
y a
right out
este
of the gate
también,
for
pero no,
Corvus,
creo que otro, no sé qué otro
for
personaje tiene
800
una skin así.
crystals. So we're looking at the splash art here. The team again did a killer job on that, and it's available right out of the gate for direct purchase, which is just awesome. So it's nice to have that in there, and when you guys get to check them out in game, it's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah, and right before
Yo creo que ya fue todo por el
finish up here
parche.
too, I would just like to say that that's so
Bastante
cool that we
interesante.
have an Echo champion. I know we were talking about it just the other day with Nico. You know, Nico, what do you have to say about this? You know, I think you were pretty excited that we got to do something like this again. I think our first one that we did of an Echo champion, like in another reality, was with Pepper for Pip's skin. Like it's like an alternate reality or form of them, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, real quick, it's just it's an example of kind of the feeling you get with the remix Pip. It's kind of that, not actually Corvus, it's kind of what if in another universe. But it's definitely something that's really, really
You can
cool.
always ask us too on like Twitter if you guys want to know more about it. Especially Nico. Nico's been like really active on there, guys.
Apoyo, salud
So,
2200,
you know,
arma original. Es una pistola que hace 60 de daño, cada 0.5 segundos, reduce máximo de 50% de daño, porque dice años, pero debe ser daño. Si planeaba la eficacia de unas 180 unidades. Te dije no le va a infligir el poder del abismo durante 350 segundos por cura, 300 de salud, porque capacidad. El destino de totalidad puede ser mercado de distancia de capacidad de utilizar a través de paredes
obviously feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Valence, as you guys have seen
de paredes o tiene un alcance hasta 150 unidades. Los aliados marcan el centro principal de la nación de otros aliados directamente
Adonis, Nico, Romanova for joining me today on our work from home. The dog has made an appearance right at the end, which is
talento, los amigos afectados. Creo que el PT saldrá para el viernes. Se puede, creo que ahorita